Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Especially a special good evening to my fellow constituents from the Petit Savant constituency. Every evening I get more emotional when I come out with them. The group has been with me non-stop, growing every time, and we are offering support to every single candidate in every part of Dominica, and everybody know that, and everybody have been seeing that. So good evening tonight. Also, I want to say safe journeys to the Prime Minister. He's not here, so I cannot directly acknowledge him, but I know he's on his way somewhere from Portsmouth to this area. I would like to acknowledge Mrs. Melissa Skerritt, the wife of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Shakira Lockhart, a stalwart, Mr. Dr. Vince Henderson, my former parliamentary representative, Dr. Daru, who was on stage tonight, and all of the fellow Labour constituents from the Soufriere constituency. Thank you for turning out and welcome. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to offer a special greetings from the deputy people of the Cassibus constituency, especially from Soufriere. And the reason why I'm saying that, I came here directly from Soufriere. I didn't even have the time to go home, working with the Honorable Octavia Alfred. So when people talk about people who are dedicated to work, I left my home at 7 a.m. this morning, and this is where I ended up tonight, ladies and gentlemen. However, the moment tonight is for our dear Dennis Charles. Though many people say I'm a new politician, but perhaps I am the oldest politician here together with the Prime Minister, because I started my journey of serving the government of Dominica as a public servant on December 12, 2000. And from since on, I have been serving diligently. I have met and known every single politician here and worked with them. So from beyond every pal rep, beyond every ministers, they are the people who are supposed to make their dreams come true. And I'm like the elf in the background. When Dennis Charles has a dreams and vision for the Soufriere constituency in terms of the marine environment, all of the developments you have seen, there are people to make it happen, and I have always been there. There are many prolific speakers tonight, my dear, those before me and those who will come after me, who will speak about matters of the economy, macroeconomics, achievements of the Dominica Labour Party, because they have been there before me in government. But to put focus tonight on the Soufriere constituency and to help my dear sister Denise, I want to focus on a special demographic, a special set of people who are dear to my heart throughout my career, which are the fishermen. And to remove any doubts on polling day that they should turn to Dennis Charles. Between Point Michel to Scott's Head, we have over 100 registered fishers, brothers and sisters. Each and everyone whom I know personally and have interacted with personally and have engaged with personally. So this is over 100 people I am dedicated to Denise that I'm going to bring for her on December 6th. The communities of Scott's Head was among the most affected post-Hurricane Maria. Tremendous devastation in the fisheries sector. Fisheries infrastructure, their locker rooms are all blown away, you can see in Scott's Head. Boats, engines, ladies and gentlemen. But today, we have seen a massive influx of investment towards helping these people. And all of these investment have to be led by the pal rep, Dennis Charles. And government has responded to the call. And in my position as Chief Fisheries Officer in my past profession, because I have resigned to take on a new mandate, I have did everything possibly to help Dennis Charles. I remember the very first time she called my phone. I wonder, why is the minister calling me? Because, you know, usually you are afraid you have demands that you cannot respond to. And she would always call me to make note of constituents, of fishermen in her constituency who she felt was left out from a development program, who was left out from a relief program. And at every attempt and at every call, I have done my utmost best to make sure whoever she has identified was dealt with. Ladies and gentlemen, in the fisheries sector, we have seen many developments in the Soufriere constituency. One of the most important developments has been the development of the Petrocarib fuel station in Scott's Head. Before this fuel station in Scott's Head, fishermen from Soufriere, Scott's Head, had to travel all the way to Castle Comfort or even Roseau to purchase fuel. Under the Dominica Labour Party, and also maybe her leadership, even before in politics, as an employee of Petrocarib, we ensured that there were 5 fuel stations set up, and Scott's Head being one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Support to the fishermen in terms of infrastructure, equipment, ice machines, coolers, all manner of equipment that will make the job a lot easier. All of this with the assistance and the push and the hard work of the Honorable Dennis Charles. Post-Hurricane Maria, we saw major injection and very quick injection of capital to support the livelihoods of fishers. One of the first being, ladies and gentlemen, the cash grant program. And when we roll out the cash grant program, $10,000 for fishers who were full-time in the industry and $3,000 for fishers who were part-time, Dennis Charles made sure that every deserving individual in her entire constituency received that package. And I was there for every step handling that program and to make sure that everybody that she requested, and we did our due diligence, it's not just request, that they receive the assistance required, ladies and gentlemen. And this was over 100 individuals. So this shows you it matches. I told you we have over 100 registered fishers and over 100 of these individuals got their package. Every single one of them. Even before we had any major assistance program, Dennis Charles had her very own. So one of the first packages that came to fishers, brothers and sisters, was delivery of fishing boats and engine before the World Bank project. Dennis had her own package, so her own funding from the state, and made sure that individuals could return to their occupation in the quickest possible time before anywhere else in the country. Under the recovery program on the Dominica Emergency Resilience Livelihood Project, many fishers from the Soufriere constituency got benefits. All right? 22 fishers from the constituency received brand new outboard engines. And this made up 20% of the total amount of engine given to the entire country. So if anybody knows numbers very well, you would know that 20% of a whole for an entire country is a large quantity of engines only to the Soufriere constituency, ladies and gentlemen. Coming soon, in the first quarter of 2023, we will see the second half of this package, which is boat to fishermen who have lost their boats and have not been assigned any assistance. In total, the package will be 53 boats under the Dill Crab project, the World Bank funded project, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the Soufriere constituency will secure over 22% to be exact, of all the boats to be constructed, which amount to about 12 boats, ladies and gentlemen. And out of the 6 boat builders that has been pre-selected and approved to construct, one of the most prolific boat builders hails from the Soufriere constituency we all know as Denny Boy or Daniel Firmin by his real name. I heard other speakers talk about development in the Soufriere constituency under the leadership of the Honorable Dennis Charles. 2 jetties, one in Soufriere, one in Scott's Head. But I want to also say to them, this is not all. And sometimes in the constituency you will hear people say that, oh, maybe the Germans is the one who funded the Soufriere jetty, or maybe another individual who is close to the community funded in Scott's Head. But as we have heard, ladies and gentlemen, nobody can come to work in a constituency or in a country without the blessing of the government. And the government, as we know it today, is the Dominica Labour Party government. Nobody can come to work in a constituency and do development on their own without the blessing of the parliamentary representative. So even though the funding may have come somewhere, but somebody has to lead the charge to get this funding. And in addition to all of this funding, though they may be externally funded, what of us do not know that many times our own ministries and government has to create sometimes equal funding to make the project happen. And many times that story does not come out. So we may hear that the Germans may have given 1 million, not knowing that our government also contributed 1 million. The Soufriere constituency, Scott's Head, Soufriere, Point Michel, has always been one of the most prolific areas in terms of fisheries production. And for those of us who think that fisheries is a job that is set aside for people who have nothing else to do, my ladies and gentlemen, you are very wrong. Fisheries is now big business, and fisheries is now supporting the livelihoods of many homes. Fishermen now can park their vehicles on the bay. Fishermen now can take mortgages. Fishermen now can send their children to school without having to ask the pal rep for a dime. So I'm telling you today, if you think that fisheries is a small business to set on aside for people who do not go to school or did not go to school, you are very wrong. And I will tell you to take a look at the fishermen of Scott's Head and go and look at their homes and go and look at their vehicles, ladies and gentlemen. And further opportunities are coming for the fishermen of the Soufriere constituency. My last official assignment, ladies and gentlemen, was the opening of the Roseau Fisheries Complex. This Roseau Fisheries Complex, as the name determines, is in Roseau. But this is a national facility. This is a facility to take the fisheries sector to the next level. This is a facility that is going to ensure that all of the fish landed by the fishers in the Soufriere constituency can be absorbed immediately without having to waste any of their time driving around Dominica, selling the fish at a much reduced price. There will be a marketing agency, there will be a management company to take their fish, all of it if they wish to, and export it when necessary, but not forgetting that we have to cater to the domestic market also. And I would not want to leave to address another major sector. For many of us who have been hearing about the blue economy, sometimes some people advise me, do not use certain words. And also, that torments me very much and makes me feel bad because it makes me feel like sometimes our public is not educated, our public does not understand. But I want to tell you today, by speaking to everyone and meeting everyone, we have a highly educated public, so therefore, we should expect that they should understand everything I say. And ladies and gentlemen, the blue economy means that we have to use our marine environment to do much more for our economy and for more greater economic development other than just fishing. And right here in the Soufriere Scott's Head, we have demonstrated that the blue economy is alive. There is much more money to come from the sea and just the fishing community. Okay? So as we know, the Soufriere area is host to one of the most important environmental marine parts that nobody sometimes knows about, and that has to change, which is the Soufriere Scott's Head Marine Reserve, one of the only marine reserve in the Commonwealth of Dominica, established since 1998, a designated area, something that the Soufriere area, Scott's Head, Galion, Point Michel should be very proud of. But this area can create a lot much more opportunity for the thriving tourist market in the Soufriere constituency, ladies and gentlemen. In the coming year, working together with the PAL rep, whatever portfolio I may get, the marine life fishermen will never be far from my heart. And I will ensure that the economy of Soufriere Scorzett is further strengthened by having more yacht arrivals, okay? By having more yacht arrivals, deployment of moorings so that these yachts can be safely stored to patronize the bars and the increasing business in the area. Soufriere Scorzett is where we have more than 90% of all the scuba diving activities in the water sports industry, ladies and gentlemen. And those of us who know that increasingly water sport activities is one of the #1 things that is attracting tourists to Dominica. And not only that, it is your ordinary type of tourist. It is your very high-end tourists which are bringing a high-value product and a high returns, ladies and gentlemen. So just before I leave, I know I have gone beyond my time, but I needed to say all of that so as to get an appreciation and understanding of the character of the Honorable Dennis Charles. Because all of these things have to happen with people who have the passion and who have the will to get what they want for their constituency. Nothing comes to us, nothing is for free without putting our own determination. So I want to end by saying, I fully endorse Honorable Dennis Charles long before I was on this platform. I fully hope that every individual will turn out on December 6th. And I fully hope that I can entice, encourage each and every single one of these over 100 registered fishers to throw your support beyond Dennis Charles and be one of the first set of people to be at the polls on December 6th. Thank you very much.